Shaq was saying, I demand fans to start putting Steph in the GO conversation. You've been talking about this. I agree. I believe that he was the next evolution of a game changer and the evolution of the game. He should be in that conversation.
He 100% is in that conversation, and he 1000% belongs in that conversation. When you talk about what he's done, what he does on the basketball court, there's no one in the history of the NBA. And with all due respect to LeBron James, with all due respect to Michael Jordan, with all due respect to my favorite player of all times, the great Shaquille O'Neal, there's no one in the history of the NBA that has been schemed against and guarded the way Steph Curry is guarded. I mean, teams throw their whole defense at him. I've played in the NBA Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers and got wide open layups, dunks in transition because he's running on the wing and they'd rather go run and take the three away from him on the wing and give me a dunk.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen, got wide open dunk straight down the lane because Steph Curry's on one wing, Klay Thompson on the other wing, and they just run. But Steph Curry, who I'm speaking about right now, the defenses that he's faced, still to this day, he's in year 16, and teams still throw 3 and 4 defenders at him on the given possession. You know, when you talk about how much he gets blitzed, like everything is designed to try to take this guy away. Because, you know, against some teams, you say, yo, let's let this guy do this and let's take everything else away. The game plan is never to let Steph just get his because you know how demoralizing it is. And then obviously impact on the game. The way the game of basketball is played, not in NBA, I said the game of basketball is played worldwide, it's because of Steph Curry.
For sure.
You tell me the game of basketball is modeled after how you play the game and what you were so special at that everybody thought that, yo, that's what we need to do. And you telling me that guy don't go in the GOAT conversation? Also tell me that Steve Jobs ain't one of the greatest CEOs that's ever walked this planet Earth either. Then tell me that too then.
I always say GOATs travel in herds. So, you know, you can look at multiple different players and consider them, you know, a part of the greatest of all time, the greatest to ever do it. Like people get into the debate about individual people, but I look at like the canvas, right? The NBA is the Louvre. You know, Michael Jordan may be the Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel. Steph Curry comes along and becomes a Mona Lisa, right? Or, you know, and so it is, you know, he definitely deserves, you know, his name in that conversation. And I think, you know, when you're talking about GOAT and GOAT conversation, once again, you got to talk about it's multiple people because it's multiple different positions, multiple eras. It's like every 5 years, the league changed. Like we was talking about the face of the league the other day, right? And, you know, the face of the league is consumed by he who wins, right? Or he who has the illest style. I think that Steph has transcended a whole new era. Like if you think about, you know, just the NBA and the NBA from an image perspective, the suburban kid has a chance to be great. You know, it never was there, you know, a time where, you know, the story the story of struggle was always prevalent to someone's success in the NBA, and never really was there like a middle class, you know, really upper class kid, right?
Yes.
Who broke through the barriers. Not only that, not only an upper class kid, but the son of an NBA player breaking through that threshold. So, I mean, you can say there was players before, which there were, who made it to the league, but like not with this threshold, this impact. And so it created a whole new, you know, surge of NBA players, former NBA players, great college players, great street ball players. Now their kids is looking at, oh, look at this kid. You know, he looked like a dude that's at the jungle. Like I grew up at the jungle gym, right? He looked like he looked like somebody. He looked like somebody that's in an art class, right? And there he is, one of the best players in the NBA. And so that, you know, is more recognizable, more relatable. And now, you know, every kid from every suburb, from every hood is changing their style of game and changing even their persona, right, to reflect more Steph Curry. And I think that's why you got a lot of great kids in this league, a lot of good people, right? And you know, you have that now broader family support. And, you know, people don't look at all the elements. So when it comes to, you know, being a game changer, what that does.
Due to Steph Curry's success, and you just hit on it, I'm going to take it a step further. Due to his success, and Clay, due to the level of success that Steph has had, being a former or being the son of a former NBA, a retired NBA player in Steph Curry, it's not that there weren't guys before that were the son of NBA players, but you haven't seen them with this frequency. The amount of NBA players, sons that's in the NBA now,
crazy.
With this frequency. And due to Steph's greatness, the NBA and basketball in general has become a rich kid sport. Basketball was, for myself, for a lot of other guys,
we had a chance.
It was our way out.
Yeah, we had a chance.
As a poor kid, there's a hoop at the park up the street, and you just need a basketball and we can go play. You know, we can play outside. And so as a poor kid, it was a means and a way out. For a lot of us, LeBron James, the poor kid, basketball was a way out. And the Steph Currys were rare. Now, it's more likely that Gilbert Arenas' son is going to make it to the NBA. Trevor Ariza's son is going to make it to the NBA. And they are better suited now to make it to the NBA than the kid from the neighborhood. It's flipped.
Big time, bro. Big time.
Hey, so we all make mistakes, but owning up is the right thing to do. You know Degree Cool Rush deodorant? Well, last year, they changed the formula, and it did not go well with their fans.
Degree's whole thing is it turns up the sweat and odor protection when you turn up the effort. And good thing it does, because Cool Rush fans really turned up the effort to bring back the original formula. One guy even started an online petition.
And Degree, listen, they admitted they effed up and are bringing the original Cool Rush scent back. And it's exactly how you remember it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. It's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4.
There's a reason why it's been the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. It's the same reason why people were not happy when it changed. So if you never tried it, it might be a good time to see what the fuss is about.
Head to your local Walmart or Target to try the OG Degree Cool Rush for yourself. Because of the level of skill that Steph Curry possesses, skill training has become so big. So training kids now, and the training that these kids get now,
it's expensive.
That we can guide them through, and we know trainers. We know, like, Bronny worked out with Chris Johnson when he was in high school. You know, like, we know the trainers.
Yeah.
Trav's son probably going to go to the NBA because it's set up that way now.
It is.
So much training. And the kid in the neighborhood now, he can't get that level of training.
You get to the train station, but you 2 days late. Everybody done took their trains and their routes. So the kid in the neighborhood, our route used to be play at the park, play at the school or whatnot, then get discovered at the YMCA or the Park League. Then somebody will say, yo, you want to play on the All-Star team? You play on the All-Star team. It was like you worked your way up, and you have to really like battle and fight to earn your seat on the AAU squad. Now those kids in the hood, they don't even have, like, the kids is so rich that you can't even afford to access the tournaments to show, like, man, it used to be a team we used to play against called the Warriors. If I didn't play on my AAU team, I would have played for them. They was out of watch. and they would raise money and they would be in the same tournaments. And James Lee wound up becoming, going to San Francisco. But like it was dudes I grew up from my neighborhood, like, oh, like damn, they got a squad too, and they can show up. Now you can't. Because if you ain't Nike, if you ain't Adidas, if you ain't Puma, like where do you go to get seen? And it's really like an access game now. So, and I hate this. Basketball is becoming a one-trick pony as far as stories, the type of talent you're looking for, the type of player you're looking for, and like everybody, it's like becoming a factory, and it's not a art collective, right? Yeah. Like we not appreciate, like everybody's the same. So, and then that goes back to Steph Curry. Like, look at that effect. Like every kid and every point guard, even every big man now is shooting threes. There's always a gift and a curse, but I think the game being too expensive disallows access to, the next Draymond, right?
Yep. That's a fact.
Because they ain't gonna go looking for no Draymond.
That's a fact.
Right? And so we gotta keep that same juxtaposition and that energy, because the league is not about just rich kids playing a sport,
That's a fact. Every rich kid could be skilled, and do all the skill training, but every rich kid ain't gonna have a dog that Steph Curry got.
For sure. No, Steph Curry different. He programmed.
Absolutely.
Right. We had a conversation about this. What's the difference between, like, if somebody's a dog and somebody got skill, you can't dog a person who's highly skilled. And the person who's highly skilled probably has way more levels to be a beast and a monster than just you being a dog.
And having that dog in you, if you got a guy that's highly skilled and he ain't got no dog, your mind is automatically going to be like, I'm going to just bully him.
Yep.
Right? Like, I'm going to bully him, and I'm not even going to allow you to access that skill. Because I'm going to just rough you up. I'm going to get, like, you're going to back down. Then once I get you to back down, now you don't even really want the ball because you don't want to deal with that. It always reverts back to that. And winning always reverts back to that. Because if you don't have the dog, everything else you're trying to accomplish, it gets thrown off track. But I would say, for the kids, I just said it's a rich kid sport. For the kids that are like myself and like you, that's still coming from the neighborhood, you may not have the access to the type of training that, say, my son would have access to, or your son would have access to. But being a musician, being an artist, like BD just said, being an artist and figuring out the artistry of the game, you can just do that. And guess what? They still make basketball courts. They still make basketballs. If you get your handle right, your game tight, work on that. Yeah, you may not be as strong when you get to a level you're trying to go to. Not being strong enough don't mean you can't be tough enough, right? So you may not be as strong. You may not test off the charts like somebody else will because of the training they had. That's fine.
Right.
Master the game.
That's it.
Master the game. For the kid that don't have the access to all the stuff, if you just master the game, and all that simply requires is going to the gym, going outside and dribbling the basketball, those things, those who do that, that'll never go away. Any rim you can find outside, don't matter. If you put that work in as that young kid that ain't got nothing, there's still a path.
Man, if you and I were growing up in today's era, right, the path would be a little easier because you have help along the way. So, like, we're not discouraging. We saying, like, they will find. Talent will be found once you put the work in, right? And the way the landscape is for basketball, right, with NIL, right, it gives people like us growing up an opportunity to start taking care of our family even at an earlier age. So take care of that business, take care of that, and the knowledge too. Know people, know players, know their style, know what they play like, know what they shoot like. how they run. All this is the beauty and the magic. Like I think about you a lot, and what makes you a great defender is you know how people move. So you know when to get in front of them, you know how to defend them, you know when you need to get leverage, you know when you need to stand up, you know when he ain't gonna do nothing, right? Rudy Gobert, you know when to just jump. And you like it when you study people and you study their movements, that's how you really become a student of the game.
What's up, our fans? We got some great news. We're thrilled to announce that the new show merchandise is available. The site is now live, so you can check it out and grab your favorites. Go to the dgbdshow.com. That's the dgbdshow.com.
If you're watching on YouTube, there's a QR code on the screen that you can scan. You can click the link in the YouTube description. For all the listeners, head to Draymond Show on TikTok, IG, X, Facebook, and hit the website link in the bio to access the merch store. You know, we finally get some merch for the show, baby. We get the fans be able to rock the merch, rock the show, tap in with us.
I think these should be the shirts on the seats at the game.
Come on, let's do it. We need that.
Game 4, we need that
in.
Monday.
Come on, man.
Let's do it.
I'll be at the game. We can get that cracking.
We're excited to have all y'all represent the show. So go to the dgbdshow.com and get the new merch.